You didn't ask for this. You didn't choose this season. You woke up one day and life looked nothing like what you planned. And somewhere in the middle of the confusion, the loss, the disappointment, a question started forming that you almost feel guilty for asking. Why is God allowing this to happen to me? If that question has been living rent-free in your mind, this message is for you. Because what looks like God standing by doing nothing is actually God doing something you cannot yet understand. The first thing the enemy does when you are hurting is hand you a false verdict. He tells you that the pain is your fault, that God is angry with you, that you are suffering because you did something wrong, believed something wrong, or are simply not worthy of better. But pain is not always a consequence. Sometimes pain is a calling. The moment pain enters your life, the enemy does not waste a single second. He does not wait for you to process what happened. He does not give you space to breathe, or think, or grieve. His first move, every single time, is to slide a verdict across the table before the trial has even begun. He whispers it quietly at first. Maybe you deserved this. Maybe this is what happens when you make the choices you made. Maybe God is finally showing you what He really thinks of you. And the reason this strategy is so devastatingly effective is because it sounds like honesty. It sounds like self-awareness. It sounds like the kind of hard truth that mature people are supposed to be able to face. But it is not honesty. It is accusation wearing the costume of reflection. And Revelation 12:10 calls the enemy exactly what he is, the accuser. Accusation is not just something he does occasionally, it is his primary occupation, his full-time assignment. And the goal of every accusation is identical, to make you believe that what you are experiencing is God's rejection, rather than God's redirection. When Jesus and his disciples encountered a man who had been blind from birth, the disciples did not ask how they could help him. Their first question was, who sinned? John 9:2. Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? They saw suffering, and their instinct was to find the guilty party, to locate the sin that caused the pain. Because pain that size had to mean something went wrong somewhere. It had to mean someone failed before God. And Jesus stopped them and said something that should permanently reframe the way you see your own suffering. John 9:3. Neither this man nor his parents sinned, but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. Not punishment, purpose, not judgment, glory. Not a verdict from heaven, a vehicle for heaven's greatest work. The man had been blind his entire life, not because God was angry with him, but because God had selected him, specifically him, in that specific condition, at that specific moment in history, to be the person through whom an undeniable and world-changing miracle would be displayed. His blindness was not the mark of God's absence from his life. It was the signature of God's plan over his life. Think about what that man's daily existence must have felt like before Jesus arrived. Every single day, he sat in the same spot and begged. Every single day, people passed him. And somewhere in their minds, and sometimes in their words, was the quiet assumption that his condition was connected to sin. That suffering of that magnitude had a spiritual cause, that someone was to blame. He had probably heard the whispers his entire life. He had probably spent years internalizing the verdict that other people handed him. He had probably asked God in the dark of night what he had done to deserve a life lived in permanent darkness. And then Jesus showed up. And in one moment, everything that had been framed as punishment was reframed as platform. Everything that everyone had assumed was the evidence of God's judgment became the stage for God's most stunning display of power and compassion. Jesus made mud, placed it on the man's eyes, and told him to go wash. John 9:6-7. And when the man came back, he was seeing. Not partially, not dimly, completely. And the miracle that followed did not just restore one man's sight. It ignited a conversation that shook an entire city. It confronted the most powerful religious leaders of the day with something they could not explain or argue away. It became one of the most documented and discussed miracles in the entire Gospel of John. and it is still being preached and studied and leaned on by hurting people thousands of years after it happened. All of that came from a life that the world had written off as evidence of divine punishment. God does not waste pain. He does not allow hard things into your life randomly or carelessly. Isaiah 61:3 says he gives a crown of beauty instead of ashes. But the ashes have to be real first. The mourning has to be genuine first. Because the beauty God produces does not appear from nothing. It rises from the ruins of something that had to fall apart before it could become what he always intended. Romans 5:3-4 says, suffering produces perseverance, and perseverance produces character, and character produces hope. Suffering produces something. It is active. It is purposeful. It is manufacturing qualities inside you that no season of comfort could ever create. You cannot develop the kind of perseverance that anchors a soul without first being in a situation where giving up would have been the easier choice. You cannot build the kind of character that God can trust with greater responsibility without first being tested in ways that revealed what you were actually made of. And if you look at every person God used powerfully in Scripture, the pattern is undeniable. Joseph's years of betrayal and imprisonment became the backstory of a man who saved nations and modeled forgiveness that still takes people's breath away. David's seasons of hiding in caves and crying out feeling forgotten by God became psalms that have comforted billions of grieving souls across thousands of years. Paul's suffering, the beatings, the imprisonments, the shipwrecks, the thorn in his flesh, became the texture of letters so full of unshakable grace that they have anchored the theology of the entire Christian church. Their pain was never the interruption of their purpose. It was woven into the very fabric of their purpose so completely that you cannot tell where the suffering ends and the calling begins. And the same is true of you. The person who will sit across from you one day, drowning in the same kind of pain you are carrying right now, will not need someone who read about it in a book. They will need someone who lived through it. Someone who cried in the dark the same way they are crying right now. Someone who felt abandoned by the same God and still chose to hold on. Someone whose survival is the proof they need that survival is possible. God is not just carrying you through this season, He is qualifying you through it. He is building into you a testimony that will one day be the lifeline that pulls someone else back from the edge. Your pain is not proof that God is against you. It is not a verdict from a disappointed heaven. It is not the mark of divine judgment on a life that failed to measure up. It is a platform, and God is already preparing what He is about to display through it.
So let this be the moment you stop agreeing with the verdict the enemy handed you. Let this be the moment you stop reading your pain as punishment and start reading it as preparation. Let this be the moment you look at everything that has been burning around you and recognize that the fire never had the final say. God does. You are not too broken to be used. You are not too far gone to be restored. You are not too late to receive everything God promised you. The blindness that everyone called a curse became the canvas for the most undeniable miracle in Jerusalem. The furnace that was built to destroy 3 men became the stage where an entire empire met the living God. And the pain you are carrying right now, the pain that has made you question everything, is being shaped into something that will outlast your lifetime and reach people you have never even met. God is not punishing you. He is positioning you. And the difference between those two things will change everything about how you walk through what is in front of you. The fire is real, but so is the 4th man walking in it with you. If this message broke something loose in your spirit today, drop the word approved in the comments right now. That is your declaration that you believe God has not rejected you, that you believe the pain has a purpose, that you believe the fire is producing something in you that comfort never could have built. And if someone you know is in the middle of a painful season right now, send this to them today. They may be one word away from holding on instead of letting go. Subscribe to Bible Voice right now and turn on your notifications, because every single message on this channel is crafted to find you exactly where you are, speak directly to what you are carrying, and remind you that the God who walked into the fire with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is the same God who is walking through your fire with you right now. He has not left. He has not looked away. And he is not finished with your story.